Hello again, everybody. Welcome to those who just arrived. So we are welcoming you today with us on this open banking webinar with our partner Tink. I'm very happy to announce that we will be talking and explaining how to unlock the full potential of open banking in the Netherlands. So my name is Olga. I'm head of marketing communication for the Netherlands in Sopra Banking Software. And we are super excited to have our partner Tink with us. They will reveal interesting and enriching insights in the open banking world. So let me introduce our speakers. We have Caroline Landslots, who is regional lead in the Netherlands at Tink. Hello, Caroline.
Hello.
And we have Nicolas Darlavoie, who is digital and open banking advisor for Sopra Banking Software in the Benelux. Hello, Nicolas. They will talk a little bit more in details about themselves just in a minute. And meanwhile, I will introduce the agenda, so the topics we'll be going through. So we'll start with the business drivers behind open banking. We'll then switch to the partnership between Sopra and Tink and what's in it for you, what's the value for you. Then we'll continue with the most relevant open banking use cases in the Netherlands at the moment. We'll also explain to you how to start with open banking in just 5 steps. And we'll wrap up with what is happening currently in the open banking scene in the Netherlands. So in case you have any questions, and I hope you will have questions, please don't hesitate already to drop them to the questions bar, which is in the right corner of your screen, right upper corner on the screen. You can put them meanwhile while the presenters are speaking. We'll then dedicate some special time for that in the Q&A session after the presentation. So we'll have a questions and answers session especially for that. You can keep the questions aside for a while, or you can already ask them, and we'll make sure that we answer after the presentation. So once again, for those who haven't arrived at Sharp, I would like to promote another webinar on open banking, which will be taking place on November 17th with partnership Tink, Axway, and Forrester, guest speaker from Forrester, Sopra Banking. So make sure to be there with us. It will be very enriching as well. So now let us start, and I pass the mic over to Caroline.
All right, thank you very much, Olga. So hi, everyone. My name is Caroline. I joined Tink earlier this year to build out our business in the Netherlands. And an important motivation for me to join Tink is being part of the shift in the banking industry. So from the old model to the new open banking model, where the consumer truly owns the data and authorizes TPPs to use their data and to create more valuable services, all through digital channels. So Tink is a company that found a very strong product market fit to this industry shift, to which I would like to get you further introduced. And I'd like to say I'm happy to be here today with Nicolas to present a promising partnership with Sopra Banking Software and discuss the type of business opportunities that open banking allow us to unlock together. So then about Tink. We were founded in 2012. We are now the leading open banking technology provider in Europe, operating a platform to access all types of financial accounts from 3,000 banks, neobanks, credit cards, and more, bringing them together for our partners through a single API connection. The company counts more than 300 employees. We are operating and live in 14 markets, and Tink is both independently funded and backed by venture capital from well-known banks and financial players. And this allows us to invest and to continue our growth at a super fast pace. So having grown mostly organically so far, we have also done a few acquisitions, 3 acquisitions this year. And on top of this, we're proud to say that we have recently entered into a close partnership with Sopra Banking Software, partnering up to provide joint technology to banks, fintechs across Europe, and thereby giving our customers the tools they need to build the next generation of colorful banking. So over to you, Nicolas.
Ja, thank you, Caroline. Hello everyone, en goedemiddag voor onze Nederlandse aanwezigen. I'm Nicolas Darlavoie, Digital and Open Banking Advisor at Sopra Banking. already for 3.5 years now. I focus on the Dutch market and try to help banks and financial institutions with improving their digital and open banking offerings with our knowledge and the services. A really short message on SBS, or Sopra Banking Software. We are the partner of choice for over 1,500 financial institutions worldwide. And we have a variety of solutions from core banking to digital and, of course, open banking. Our customers are based in over 80 countries around the world, and they benefit every day from our technologies and software, as well as the expertise of my 5,000 colleagues. So on the right side of this slide, you can see a small selection of our open banking, PSD2 compliancy and digital banking clients using our digital banking engagement platform, or in short, DBEP, which I will describe later on. But let's quickly get to the content of this webinar. So on the next slide, you see the phenomenon we're talking about today is, of course, the movement we call open banking. We're talking about the connectivity and orchestration of data between financial institutions and third-party providers to deliver new products and services to the market. So that connectivity and orchestration can be explained by, on the one hand, the need to connect to financial institutions to aggregate or retrieve and exchange the data, also what Tink calls the rails. And on the other hand, orchestration is the part that crunches, manages, manipulates, and secures data so it becomes useful. This is what Sopra Banking delivers with the DBEP. Examples of this I will give to you today in this webinar. So it's really about the combination of connecting and orchestrating. And finally, open banking is done because it creates new products and services that deliver value to you or your customers in order to fulfill your business goals. For example, more customer satisfaction, increase in product sales, higher NPS, or whatever business goal you have in mind. So let's continue on the next slide with business drivers behind open banking. This is important because, as just discussed, it's what you want to reach as a business goal with open banking. And we would like to help you with how to reach those goals. So from research from Tink done recently under 269 financial institutions, these top 3 business drivers came up with the open banking initiatives. First of all, 46% said that developing better digital services is their driver. 44% said increase in customer personalization. 38% said reduce costs of customer acquisition. And personally, I understand these results, so let's go over them. Back to the first point. Of course, you want to be better in your digital services, create nicer products that deliver more value to you and your customers. An open banking example of this is multi-banking that's driving this business value. Second point, increase in customer personalization, such as tailored savings goals and personalized notifications on the personal behavior of customers is a second driver. PFM, or Actionable Insights, is a solution that we often see here as a thing that can very well fulfill this driver. And third point, customer onboarding or acquisition has been for a long time and still is a topic of great importance, making it smooth and easy for the customer, and at the same time reducing costs and risks for the bank or financial institution. We see more and more enhancements coming in from open banking and making this possible. These 3 drivers behind open banking we are going to discuss later on as real-life practical example use cases. But first, on the next slide, I would like to take a moment and explain why the partnership between Sopra Banking and Tink is important for you. You could see it as a 1 + 1 = 3 formula. So where Tink is on the one hand the world's most renowned players in open banking with their rails and brains that provide top-notch open banking services. Sopra, on the other hand, is with its digital banking engagement platform able to deliver that open banking data to banks or financial institutions in an orchestrated, fully secured, manageable way with insights and all data that is flowing in and out of your organization, together with out-of-the-box tools and portals to control, audit, manage, and guide your open journey. For example, if you want to build an open banking use case, Tink's open banking services are delivering the integration to over 3,400 different banks and financial institutions. Tink can add on top of that PFM capabilities such as actionable insights and categorization as well. And then Sopra Banking is combining these pre-integrated open banking services in a premium digital banking platform to create your own customer journeys. The benefits of this are, for example, really short time to market, because all of those open banking services are pre-integrated and ready at a click in a single deployment. DBP, the Digital Banking Engagement Platform, is also adding other digital banking services such as PSD2 compliancy, artificial intelligence, robotics, and, for example, customer onboarding and engagement services. Also, you can create your own microservices on this platform or use the services from our partners in our open marketplace. Another benefit is that it's fully secured with access controls for users, a full audit trail, and a highly secure architecture. And the last benefit I like to explain, it's controllable and manageable because tools are included to fully manage your data and manage other partners in your ecosystem. This makes the combination of Tink and Sopra Banking of great value to you. You can have all these open banking services in one go, pre-integrated and as a service delivered. We believe that a digital banking platform is the best foundation to build upon if you want to engage in open and or digital banking. And if you like to have more information on this, I invite you to talk about this with me or one of my colleagues in a separate discussion tailored to your needs. But enough about the partnership. Over to you, Caroline, with the open banking use case examples.
Yes, indeed. Thanks, Nicholas, for taking us over the business drivers of open banking and explain what makes up the synergy of our joint partnership. So we work with all sizes of banks and fintechs and financial institutions in Europe who are looking to incorporate open banking into their service offerings. And for this webinar, we have gathered a few examples of digital transformation where open banking has helped these companies to create improved customer experiences and enhance processes along the way. So I would like to high level run through them and explain some of the business needs so we can all get inspired. So indeed, the first use case is multi-banking. This is maybe the most basic use case that we know. A banking environment, being it web or mobile, it lets users aggregate all of their accounts into one single place for a 360-degree overview of a financial situation. So this may seem a basic use case, but it's a must-have for all modern banks. So with a holistic overview of a user's finances, a bank can own the complete banking experience for their client and be the go-to place for them. So you can attract more customers by letting them manage their finances all in one place. But on top of that, the banks can get a better understanding of a full financial situation as well and increase retention by keeping them all in one place with all the information they need. So on the next slide, we see actually where multi-banking is a basic need, we see that our open banking services really become interesting when data products are built on top of the aggregation of checking account and transactional data, turning it into personal finance management. So with PFM, you can give your clients not only a holistic view of your financial situation, but also the tools and personalized insights to better control financial lives. So one example is, for instance, ABN AMRO, who has deployed PFM, Personal Finance Management, outside of the mobile banking environment into a standalone app called Grip. It's a full-feature PFM app for ABN banking and non-ABN banking customers, providing financial overview, statistics, left to spend, and actionable insights. So our joint PFM toolkit, it lets you easily build smart and intuitive services that make finance management a more engaging experience. And then on the next slide, you see a few examples of what a PFM app could look like, whether it's in-app or web or mobile. The SDK building blocks are fully customizable and to be white labeled into your app or your website. So in short, Tink and Sopra Banking software will help you turn data into insights, drive engagement, And it also allows you to proactively contact clients and helps you boost digital sales by offering customers actionable advice. Then on the next slide, we see another great use case of open banking, that Tink and Sopra banking software can help you simplify the client onboarding process. So it is used to improve user experience, increasing conversion, and reducing errors. So instead of having to manually look up and type in bank account numbers, customers can now easily connect to their bank accounts and have their details filled in automatically, error-free. This removes friction. It makes it easier for the customer to successfully step into your service and have a positive first impression. So together with Sopra banking software, Tink can substantially enhance your onboarding journeys by using, for instance, ID upload, selfie check, PSD account aggregation, data enrichment, through the technology that deploys the APIs of 3,400 banks in Europe. So passing it to you again, Nicholas.
Yeah, thanks, Caroline. So I'd like to explain quickly on how we can enable open banking for you. So on the next slide, we've formulated a 5-step approach to open banking based upon our experience in the open banking market. These steps are a best practice of what we've seen at most of the successful open banking players that we support, ranging from banks to TPPs to fintechs. First step, plan ahead. As said earlier, it's best to start off with a goal in mind. Sounds obvious, but we've seen it often happen in a very different way. Define your use cases around your strategic business plans of open banking and get help from experts. A great method to do this is with design thinking workshops, where you include end users or consumers for input. As a provider of open banking, we are regularly involved in these kinds of workshops to provide input on what's possible functionally and technically in the open banking market. It's all to make sure open banking works in your own and your customers' favor. Secondly, use a digital platform. We believe it's the best way to go forward, to start off with a digital platform as a foundation, as a central place to orchestrate, connect, and store and work on your open banking data. This platform will be the gateway to your ecosystems, and there are a lot of details to cover when doing open banking. Some open banking services can be consumed directly, but in other cases you need to transform that data, so you need microservices to do this. A platform is a great place to build additional microservices, not only for open banking, but for digital banking in general. Third step is creating your ecosystem. When you have the foundation running, it's time to integrate partners, banks, fintechs, etc. Add services or capabilities you would like to have in your open banking use cases. Basic concept of open banking is to add value coming from your ecosystem. Add services or products coming from partners is a really important step. Building an ecosystem takes time, but when starting with a pre-integrated platform, you can get quickly traction and build from there. Fourth step, it's time to let the data flow. Start with aggregation of external data or even work with your internal banking data. Make the data come alive with in your use cases with the business cases you need. For example, as discussed, multi-banking, PFM, KYC or credit scoring, budget and savings goals, actionable insight, subscription management. So there are endless possibilities here. You can do proof of concepts to test the waters with your ecosystem partners, or to see if consumers or users are really satisfied with the open banking services you are delivering. Fifth step, finally, create a great user interface and experience. Let's say it's the icing on top of the cake. A top-of-the-line presentation interface will help in becoming successful in open banking. Fine-tune it with your users and make that open banking data work for your customers. This is the part that's usually made to measure to your business and is therefore highly custom. A thing you should and can do yourself, maybe with some help and inspiration there. So in all 5 steps of this open banking plan, both Tink and Sopra Banking are experienced and are able to provide you with some advice or even services, people that can accelerate this open banking journey. So Caroline, let's see on the next slide what is happening in the Dutch open banking scene.
Yes. So far, we've shown you that with open banking technology, we can offer a range of solutions to various business needs, but there are many more examples of where this technology will be making a difference. And it's all about fetching data, enriching it to provide insights, and it's for the purpose of verifying details, reducing risk, and increasing conversion. So here's just a selection of a few fintech examples, open banking examples that are out there. So this advantage, it's paying off in the area of consumer financing, of which the market shows examples with, for instance, Wacom Finance, or called Tink nowadays, using real-time bank connections for e-com shoppers to extend credit, or Lendex, who uses PSD2 data to instantly grant a loan by making a speedy risk analysis so that private loan providers, crowdfunders, or business lenders can invest their money at a minimum risk. And in the area of financial management, for instance, both Gecko and Nordveld, they offer great examples of using transactional data to enhance their accounting software, also both for businesses and personal use. Aggregation of real-time PSD2 data through open banking connections provide users with the ability to upload transactional data automatically into their accounting tools. And this is a process that was first manual and cumbersome, and it now helps speed up and simplify various financial processes like invoicing and tax payments, and saving them time and effort and thereby money. Some examples that are even more inspirational, perhaps, are use cases in open banking that help create, for instance, Dime, the money-saving app, or Peaks, the app that helps you invest your spare change. So, for instance, by aggregating data directly from the banks, Dime easily and quickly synchronizes and categorizes your transaction data into their app, and it provides you with an overview of recurring costs or subscriptions. And with this overview, Dime offers its clients a cancellation service for maybe old or non-used subscriptions, or negotiate improved subscription rates, and thereby saving money going forward in exchange for a fee, of course. If you look at Peaks, it's a Rabobank spin-off, a digital app operating in 5 European regions, using account aggregation to pull in transactional data from checking accounts and allowing clients to use spare change from rounded up digital transactions to invest it into eco-friendly or impactful funds with a sustainable business model. The example of Payconic is an API integration, and this is interesting because here a risk-lowering business case was set up. Payconic used to work with direct debits as types of payments, but with the use of open banking APIs, direct payments and validation of the payments was achieved. And this lowers the risk again and costs of the service. So it's a simple but effective use case of open banking. Over to you again, Nicholas.
Thanks, Caroline. Interesting examples in the Dutch open banking market. So on this slide, I would like to take a moment to wrap it up and mention the key takeaways from our view on this webinar. First of all, Sopra and Tink are working together on creating the best open banking and digital banking tools for the next generation of financial services. Tink's open banking services and Sopra's digital platform as a service combined. Secondly, the 5-step plan is a guidance to easily start with open banking. You can ask us to deep dive together with you to tailor it to your needs and profit from our open banking experience. And third, as a start, we've presented 3 use cases of open banking. Caroline was so kind to do this, ranging from basic to more complex. That all can directly add value to your organization. There are, however, many more use cases already live in the market, making real profit from open banking. So, to conclude, there is an important shift going on, which we call open banking. And even though it has been around for a while now, we believe that we are still just at the start of it. Open banking is all about providing you and other fintechs with the opportunity to leverage open banking to enhance your current business models. We shared a few examples, but we will probably be seeing many more use cases emerge going forward. Thank you for now. Handing it back over to you, Olga, to see if we've received any questions.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you, Nicolas. I hope it was very insightful to all the participants, as it was for me. And now let's, as promised, let's go to the questions and answers. So what I suggest, I'll read the question, and Caroline or Nicolas, whoever wants to take it, you just make me a sign, so we'll go through like this. All right, so we have a question. What are the main challenges that banks, fintechs, and financial institutions encounter when integrating in open banking? Caroline or Nicolas? Caroline, maybe?
I'll take it.
Yeah,
I can take it. Yes. Well, we can find open banking opportunities in every stage of the life cycle of a customer journey within a bank or a fintech or a financial institution. So important steps are, I think, to determine where the business case will make the biggest impact. So, either to reduce the risk or loss rate or any reducing back office overhead costs, increasing engagement, and next, of course, planning and optimizing UX user journey is of great importance. But I think a challenge also lies in how to establish an increased consumer adoption of the use of open banking, because it's an exchange of data between what a consumer allows an organization, what kind of data a consumer allows to share, and what they get in return for it. So in that sense, that also takes a lot of time and effort, and optimizing customer journeys to also improve adoption rates.
Thank you, Caroline. Do you have anything to add? If it's not, let's go to the next question, because we have a couple of them. So let's make sure that we have enough time. Oh, sorry. So, okay. What kind of fraud solutions do you use in open banking and on DBP? Different accounts in one place equal a risk?
Yeah, it's a good question. So from a DBP point of view, we have a couple of partners who are providing fraud solutions, KYC solutions. One of them is OneSpan. It's been a partner for us already from our core banking days for a long time. They have a full suite of solutions, ranging from device fraud detection up until transaction fraud detection, etc. So if you like to deep dive more in that, because it's a specialty, it's a special field of interest, let's have a follow-up and then discuss it together with our partner in there. I hope that answers a little bit of your question, but they have a full fraud detection suite.
Okay, thank you, Nicolas. There is a question for Caroline. In the beginning, you've mentioned number of connections and organic growth. These current connections, are these API-based or reversed engineered still? You're muted. Caroline, you're muted.
Sorry there. Yes, I'm trying to look up the question. In the beginning, you mentioned a number of questions. Yeah, I see it.
Okay.
Yeah, organic growth. These current connections, are they API-based or reverse engineer? It's a combination, basically. So Tink is we are a European market leader. So we are live and we're working in 14 markets of Europe. And the API connections is what we intend to use in each and every region, but the state of the APIs and where we are allowed to use additional techniques as reverse engineering, it really differs per region and per country. So to give you a really good answer to that, maybe we can take it offline so that we can look into regions, coverage, and I can tell you a bit more on what kind of techniques we use where.
Okay, thanks, Caroline. Right. Okay, so do you still see potential for PSD2? What is your and Sopra's experience?
Yeah, I saw indeed a question. I see it. I disappeared the question, but I saw it. So, Yeah, we see still quite some interest in PSD2 compliancy. It was the use case that more or less started open banking. A couple of things we see. First of all, we see latecomers for regulation purposes or organizations that have gotten a delay or an exemption from their national bank, but are now becoming more relevant. And secondly, we are seeing all kinds of savings banks, private banks, investment banks, but also insurers that don't need to be compliant, but are implementing it for business reasons. For example, that their customers are really wanting to have their data being aggregated, or the business model of such a bank aligns with having the financial data of their customers being aggregated to other places. Also, use cases such as credit scoring or financial insights for let's take insurance companies still drive this PSD2 compliancy or access to account use case. Personally, I expect that all modern financial institutions will focus on their customers' needs and will offer the possibility that they will open up their systems and data if their customers give consent to do this. So yeah, PSD2 compliancy or access to accounts is still a very relevant use case for banks and financial institutions. I hope that answers the question a bit.
Thank you, Nicolas. Okay, so where we stand in terms of time, I just wanted to see. Okay, let's pick another one. So, when will it be possible to use investment accounts as well?
Yes, I think that's a question for me. I see a few questions in the questions area where I think it all comes down to the same question that I just tried to answer to Patrick. That's the state of the open banking APIs per region and per market, and also if Tink uses not only open banking connections but also reverse engineering or scraping technique to fetch more data than just PSD2 data, but also non-PSD2 data, and that is, for instance, investment accounts data. So that's how I interpret this question. So, we already do fetch investment account data, for instance, in Sweden, in Scandinavia, and in other countries in Europe. But in Holland, in the Netherlands, that's quite a bit of a difficult one to do through the open banking APIs of the banks, because PSD2 doesn't cover that the banks are that need to supply that through the open banking API. So it would be a matter of additional techniques, which is for now not a possibility in the Netherlands. But I think this is also maybe something that we can take on offline if I get some more insights into markets, regions, and so forth. I'd be happy to talk a bit more about it offline.
Okay,
I hope that covers it for now.
Thank you very much, Caroline. There is a question about TTM. Will you have a short TTM with the setup of the digital platform? Well, I presume this for the BEP, so Nicolas, maybe you can take it.
So why does the setup of working with a digital platform will have a lower time to market when launching new open banking customer journey? So try to answer it really quickly. So as the open banking services are pre-integrated in our platform, these are available and configured within our platform directly at deployment. Also, the connection to 3,400 banks where Tink is integrated is done with the deployment of our platform. Our platform can be deployed within hours, and we've had projects where it was a matter of days where first proof of concept use case was set up, including all supporting services such as monitoring, security, API management. So it's about having the open banking services as a package, pre-configured and integrated, available in a platform, which really shortens the time to market. I hope that answers this question.
Okay, thanks, Nicolas. Okay, what's the time? I think we have just 2 more minutes. One more question. This one is for Tink, so Caroline, it will be easy. It's for you. Tink, you already provide data beyond PSD2 in some markets. What is your view on open finance in terms of additional scope for your services?
Yes, I think it's the same question still about non-PSD2 information and additional techniques and non-PSD2. So what is our view on that? We are going to do it indeed. It would definitely be in scope of Tink to add additional services to extend our scope. I don't know if there is any specificity in what kind of scope it would. The question is about, like, what kind of scope are you interested in knowing a bit more about? But maybe we can also, be happy to answer that question if I can get a bit more detail into what the desired scope would be. And I see another question maybe there to the plans of Tink to extend the multi-banking to business clients. If we do have plans to do that, yes, we do have plans to do that. And in fact, we already do it in some of the countries in Europe. And also for the Netherlands, this is indeed in scope and on the roadmap to be launched quite soon.
Okay, one more question and I think we'll wrap up. So there is a question about the partnership. What's the value of the partnership between Tink and Sopra? So I think, Nicola, you already covered in the presentation, but I don't know if you have anything to add to it.
Yeah, I might try to explain it really simply. Where Tink is the most important open banking player in the field. Sopra Banking is leading in digital banking. So we've combined the service of Tink in our digital platform. And so now these are out of the box available, making it easy, quickly available as a complete service. Existing Sopra Banking clients can profit from the standard out of the box open banking services. And existing Tink clients could profit from digital banking services such as onboarding, product offering, our marketplace. And so the combination creates many different values. But these are a couple of them. So I'm of course happy to discuss it in further detail, tailored to the need. But I hope this answers the question a little bit.
Okay, great. So I think we are good. So the time is almost up, and I really hope that we covered the questions that you had. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to contact directly our speakers. We have their contact information just here, so you can drop them an email. Make sure to do so. You will also receive the podcast of this webinar by email. Make sure you can also rewatch it and get all the answers in case you have any questions left. So once again, join us again at the Open Banking webinar with Axway, Tink, and Forrester on November 17th. We'll be waiting for you there. And many thanks for having been with us here. I really hope you enjoyed the webinar and find answers to your questions, insights. You know now how to unlock really the full potential of open banking in the Netherlands. So many thanks once again. Thanks, Caroline and Nicola. And hope to see you soon on our other webinars. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.